with over 18 years of work experience in large corporations in India and abroad. His work experience spans across manufacturing to telecom and currently with retail. He has worked on all facets of retail from TV commerce to e-commerce and now offline retail. Welcome, sir. Mr. Deepak Jain, Director, Mankind Pharma, an HR professional with over 20 years of experience in managing HR functions. He is associated with fastest growing pharma company in the country, Mankind Pharma Limited, as head of HR since July 2016. Prior to that, he was associated with India's largest logistics and supply chain group, the Transport Corporation of India, from 2005 to 2016, heading corporate HR function and Shree Cement Limited. Welcome, sir. Huge round of applause, please. Ms. Kamalika Deka, Regional HR, North, Jubliant Foodworks Limited. She is a result-oriented professional with an experience of 9 years in managing human resource function encompassing developing people strategy in line with business strategy, talent acquisition and creating a pipeline and developing the overall employee value proposition and employer brand. Welcome, ma'am. Mr. Kishan, Iyer, Regional Manager, Nilkamal Limited, a dynamic professional with over a decade of experience currently working as Regional Manager with Nilkamal Limited. He has won an Award of Excellence in Apollo Tires for 4 consecutive years. Welcome, sir. Ms. Upadhyay Agarwal, Head Training and Customer Care at the Body Shop, an experienced trainer in luxury retail with strong skincare background. Shikhee has worked with world's top cosmetic leader, L'Oreal, and the Body Shop for more than a decade. She has been instrumental in establishing the dermo cosmetic market in India. She has been featured in health and lifestyle programs of CNBC, Zee Business, NDTV India and Sahara TV. She shares her inputs on beauty and cosmetic in leading magazines from Ghaziabad, Vogue, Femina, Cosmopolitan, India Today and many more. Mr. Siddharth, Mr. Deepak Jain, Ms. Kamalika Deka, Mr. Kishan Iyer, and Ms. Shikhee.
So time is too short to discuss many of the aspects, and after this panel discussion is done, so we can't exceed the time which is allotted to us. I feel that retail is existing in India not more than last 1.5 decade, and in last 1.5 decade it has seen so many ups and downs, and the impact which happened on retail is much deeper than any other sector. We have eminent panel on dais. We'll discuss key of the issues related to what are the different models which existed and evolving the retail sector in India, and impact of other sectors as well as some of the government policies which happen. we'll have 5 minutes individual, and then we can take a few questions, we can discuss that. Then so starting from Mr. Ravi.
So thank you very much for having me here, and I was just trying to ask myself why did they call me here. So the session is on retail. We are one of the largest sugar manufacturers in the world. And where we get connected with retail is because we have a sugar brand called Madhur. And Madhur happens to be one of the largest sugar selling brand in the country as of now. So coming back to this, I saw the topics the topic for discussion was experiential retailing. So quite a jargon for me, so I had to understand first what experiential retailing is. So when I went about the definition of experiential retailing, then I realized that we are doing it from zillion years. It's an ancient way of doing the retailing. A brick and mortar store and shop. So unlike in online retailing, you are having a model which is the ancient model, and I was very glad to find out that this is being talked now, and that is one of the topic for discussion. So friends, what I thought of sharing with you is that my personal thought on the experiential retailing and why is it so important today. To me, when you go to a store, what do you get? You get an experience of shopping. You get somebody who can educate on the product what it is. That is the guy who attends to the store, who is a guide, who is a consultant, and who educates you about that product. And also, along with that education, he also gives you some commitment. Madam, ye de denge bahut acha hai. Madam, this is the best sugar. I am using it. So that is which creates a confidence in you to buy that product. And the combination of this education and commitment is your trust in the product. And once you develop that trust, then whether you go to a brick and mortar store or you go online, that trust, unless broken, remains a trust. So the beginning of any product in my mind has to start with a personal experience. So that is the value of experiential retailing. When I say education, what else he educates? He educates, he understands your needs. He understands how that product can help you. How can you extend the uses of that product? So that is about the quality, the parameters, characteristics of that product, price of that product, delivery mechanism of that product. So there is the beginning point when a product gets sold. So one of my friends in the audience was asking a question on dalda. I remember, very pertinent question. Whether dalda came first or whether vanaspati came first. So since I am from that industry and I have also set up vegetable oil refinery and the brands, I tell you, dalda first created a product because they realized that India is the largest consumer of desi ghee, which is a hydrogenated ghee, which was a rich man ghee. So they said that why not have a product which looks alike like desi ghee and everybody can use it. So they got into a concept of hydrogenated oils. They did a lot of cooking classes with the halwais, with everyone. Developed that product, got into the eyes of the customers, and then they convinced the customer that this is as equal as desi ghee is. And then that experience became dalda, and that experience became brand. So that is the product life cycle which I'll call it. And that starts with personal touch, and that means experience retailing. I just give you an example. Today, if anybody go to the courts, they give you Gita or Bible. Swear by putting hand on Gita. Nobody gives it. You take an online oath as you find a Vakadanama. Why? Because the commitment is more when the touch is more. Commitment is more when the human being is more. So that is how the experience starts. So that is one of the things on the experience retailing. Second is our mind. If if you look at it broad sense, I am not using the jargons of retailing here. Second is our mind is 5 senses, touch, right? You say eye, ears, nose, mouth and skin. All these things, when we hear, when we touch, when we feel, all these sensory organs gives us impetus to buy goods. And these senses works best when you actually implement it. When you touch it, the sensory organs go straight away to your mind. Oh, buy. Third thing is the experience of retailing. My friend from Lifestyle will, I think, take that point more. Experience. Today, the experience of retailing has become a joy in itself. I go to Singapore very often. There, the weekend job for everyone is to shop. And not shop because of need, shop for the joy. You go to Orchard Road, all of people who would have gone there, it would be full of all Singaporeans. I have seen in Singapore, outside Louis Vuitton, there are people, hundreds of people standing outside because they want to experience that feel of retailing. So that is one example. I was in Australia last month and in Melbourne during the Christmas time. So I asked someone, I said, which is the best place to celebrate Christmas and have a feel of Christmas in Melbourne? You know, the answer was that go to David Jones and Meyer, which are the largest departmental stores there. Their Christmas decoration is the best. So imagine the experience around shopping. Right? And fourth is ease of business. Today, still, we talk about internet. I can tell you very interesting experience of US. I was in Atlanta, then went to California last month to meet a friend. Can you believe it? When you travel from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, the signal is not there half the time. So when you talk online and the Wi-Fi's, I'm talking with the advanced countries. I'm not talking about India. So if you have to shop and then you realize that Wi-Fi is not there, or if Wi-Fi is not there, even if Wi-Fi is there, then you have that bringing the card, doing this, entering the PIN codes and getting a OTP and then. So, but in the retail experience of brick and mortar, the experience is instant. Just pick up a product and the bill is there. Second thing, very important, which we found. I experienced this thing, okay, I'm talking too much abroad because, ultimately my belief is that what West is doing, India will follow, and West will change and then we will follow that again. So that is the long and short of it. So I was in Duluth with my cousin who happens to be Dean of Minnesota. So when we went in, I saw a packet lying outside. I said, what is this packet? He said that you had ordered something from Amazon. I think that packet has come. So I said, it's just lying outside. So he said, here, if you steal anything from the post, it's a criminal liability. So the guy, keeps the packet outside and it will be delivered. I was just taking a, equal in India. Today, even if you've ordered something online and the guy comes home, you are not there, he will go back with a message, call up at this number. Or you remain at that time at home. So the ease of delivery, ease of business is also something which is the key for the brick and mortar retailing. So having said that, don't get an impression that I am against online trading. But what I am saying is that online trading has to work together with this experiential training and retailing, and both will have to get together. And that's what my experience. And second, they asked me to speak on the skill set in the retail sector. My friends, my students, I can only tell you that the world is becoming more and more logical. You will have to read the minds. So earlier the concept was selling. You have a product. सब लेने के बहुत बढ़िया है. वो कहते हैं हिंदी में गंजे को कंगी बेचना. Those days of गंजे को कंगी बेचना is gone. You have to be a marketer even when you are selling goods. You have to identify the customer needs. Like we sell sugar. So if you try to sell a gold grain sugar to everyone, to even the guy who is making tea, it's not going to help. You might be saying, no, बहुत अच्छा, लेकिन he will say, I need a smaller grain sugar. So all the concept of sales will merge into marketing. So ultimately, I believe that all salespeople will have to be the marketer, and they will have to educate themselves of the customer needs, and then only they will be able to sell the products. So that is all I would say. And in fact, before I leave, I had a very brief interaction with this expert panel, and I think they will be able to add much more value. Very, very interesting speeches coming in. So I'll take leave. Thank you.
He represents lifestyle stores, and I believe each one of us must be there in the store. So I request him to share his thoughts on retail experience as well as on omnichannel growth.
I also wanted to start on with the very clear example of Nata, I think somewhere. So I think you asked a very, very pertinent question, because it's not just about Dalda. It's about the fact that it's a Dalda or a Xerox. Most of the time we go for a photocopying and we say Xerox. We don't say photocopying. So Xerox is synonymous to a photocopying. And even taking that back again, maybe 20 years back, we used to go to a local kirana shop for buying something. I remember my mother used to tell the shopkeeper, give me soap, washing powder, or give me a Nirma. So, but the guy never necessarily used to give her a Nirma. He used to give her a product in which he had a higher margin, saying that this is good, this is better. So he was influencing the sale which was there, but nevertheless for my mother it was a Nirma. And that Nirma was synonymous to a washing powder. So that's exactly how products and brands come in together, and I think that's the way of life. So products make a brand, brand makes a product. So starting on from there, I think let me start on with the very basic thing that I come from a finance background. For me, profitability is the key thing. Now, why I'm stressing upon that is, and somewhere you would always find that the marketeer and the finance always are at loggerheads in terms of budgets. There is always a justification to say ROI nahi hai. Why do you need to spend? But then, nevertheless, you have a scenario where you still need to spend and you still need to deliver on your margins or on your profits. Now, as a retail, we also encounter that. We also have our budgets, and end of the day, as I kind of go on, you'll understand why I'm talking about it. Every store that we have, every store has a budget, and after a point of time, the budget fulfillment falls a lot on the marketer, because he is the guy who's influencing the customer to a large extent in terms of walking in. He ensures that the customer is able to walk in through various different means, be it a product, actually he's not the guy who designs the product, but how he's able to communicate with the right target audience and how he's able to influence the customer to walk into the shop. So starting on from there, so in our case, the key thing actually becomes a product, and the product is the one on which all the decisions of buying, all the decisions from the consumer standpoint in terms of coming in and the spend that we do comes across. So if the product is good, we ensure that it is much better cascaded or informed to the consumer for buying. The mantra for us in our case is all about the fact that in lifestyle, if you probably walk in, we go with a very simple rule, and I think Ravi also did talk about. We go with something which we talk it as a customer experience. So for our stores, the key which we use is very simple. We use 3 simple words internally to our staff, which is meet, greet, and direct. So when you walk into a lifestyle store, you would find that the security guard at the gate will greet you. Rather, he will meet you first. He will look at you eye to eye. He would greet you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. And then when you walk in and kind of take a stroll over the store, unless and there is a need from your perspective, you would not find the sales staff coming in